Welcome to the show. This is Beyond Belief podcast.
That's what's up.
Yeah,
That's what's
yeah,
up. That's
yeah.
what's up.
We're your host, Double Impact.
Yeah.
Bro, before we start the show,
Yeah.
what's in your mind, bro?
Oh man, crazy man. I'm just reflecting on 2021, man, in
Yeah.
itself. Legends have gone, man. We've lost so many legends,
Yeah.
and just emotionally myself, I feel like been a roller coaster,
For
but
sure, for sure.
grateful for the Most High that we're still here,
Yeah.
baby. Let's go. We can rock.
Yeah,
Feel me? And your side,
definitely.
yourself,
Nah, I'm good, man. I'm good, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everything has been so much trial and error. Trying new things, trying to break habits and
Yeah.
just moving into a different mental state.
Yeah, 100%, man. Want to introduce the topic, man?
Yeah, man, we're talking about a legend, Nipsey Hussle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And for those who don't know who Nip is, he was an American rapper that emerged in the mid 2000s, the West Coast hip hop scene, right? So, sadly, Nipsey passed on.
Dang.
March 2019. Sadly, Nipsey passed on. If you'd like to know more about that, maybe just Google it. There's enough content out there to actually shed light on that. But we're just gonna highlight Nipsey Hussle's moves.
For sure.
We're
for sure.
highlighting his career.
For sure.
We're highlighting the
Neighborhood.
quality and solid individual he was. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
Because his legacy still lives on today. And like he always said, the marathon continues, bro.
100%, man. For those who, like my brother said, man, like he was just a different kind of a pioneer, and the way he made his moves, you feel me? So I think maybe we should start on the rap side, on his music journey, and all how it all started in Crenshaw, LA, man. Yeah, like, in the hood where it all started, man. It's amazing how he's always had a spirit of a spirit of ownership, man, from a very young age, where
Yeah, for sure.
they started selling T-shirts on the street,
Yeah.
so that they can flip the money from the T-shirts, Lotion Tees. That's what the store was called. And so it was him, his brother called Black Sam, as well as a friend called Stephen Danielson, I think. Yeah, was it
Yeah,
Stephen?
facts.
Yeah, Fats. You know what I'm saying? So they started doing the T-shirt thing, and then flip that money so that Nup can get into studio, man. And just it shows us that you don't have to wait for you to have the money. Use what you have and flip that so that it can assist you on your dream. You feel me? So
Yeah, for sure. Like when we talk about Nipsey Hussle, the artist, he it's I think he owned the message. You feel like
100%,
from
man.
from
100%.
jump.
Yeah.
He wanted to be a voice for other people who were from the same lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he highlighted what was going on with the lifestyle and how people are living and what the situation at the time through his music. And I think so many people probably in LA related because it's things they see on the everyday side. You
Yeah,
know
and
what
I
I'm
think
saying?
all even the hoods around LA, man,
Yeah.
they related because the story is the same, man.
For sure, for
And
sure.
going back to him, Nipsey Hussle, just his business moves and his long term, like his motto is the marathon. You know what I'm saying? So for him to get literally into the drug business so that he can take that money and flip it into studio time, you feel me, so that he can record his
But,
mixtapes.
but then if we talk about that lifestyle of gang banging and the street lifestyle, right? It's almost like it's not even a choice.
Yeah, of
You know what I'm
course,
saying?
man.
Because like there's no resources around, to hit the studio or
Yeah.
whatever, so it becomes that option that you exercise to say, yo, let me do this and flip the money, and so that I can do what I eventually want to do. And that's actually, we don't have, like, I don't think the principles could be applied in all areas of
Yeah,
life.
of course.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that I was working a retail job, and we flipped my part of my salary after paying rent, we would sacrifice on food, we would sacrifice on a whole lot of things so we can purchase education
Of
for a
course.
certain skill
Go
that
to
today
seminars, yeah.
going to seminars so that we can flip, like, so we'll take the little, flip it into knowledge, so that one day we can flip the knowledge into value, and
Mm,
then once we have the value we can be paid for it. And I feel like that's what Nip did, and that helped him create a brand. You
yeah.
feel?
Let's speak on that subject, that word, brand. What
Yeah.
is it? And with you explaining, maybe related to Nipsey Hussle. You
Mm,
get what I'm
mm, mm,
saying?
mm.
And yeah, tell me what is brand
Yeah,
for you, man? What does that
I think as much as there's artists, and
Ooh, I like that.
in the music industry,
Yeah.
there's other artists who are brands.
Name a brand.
You know,
Just for people to kind of follow. You know what I'm saying?
you
Like
know,
Jay Z, man.
Beyonce is a brand.
Jay
You
Z,
understand?
Kanye West, Drake.
Rihanna is a brand.
Correct.
You know, you could actually leverage the name or the brand to venture into other business
Businesses, yeah.
avenues. You know what I'm saying?
Like LeBron James with the sports endorsements, you know what I'm saying, that he's
Yeah,
getting.
that's
Michael
brand.
Jordan, even today, that's brand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can expand on that,
So
yeah.
when we're looking at Nipsey Hussle, he was very strategic on how he moved. It was very strategic, man, of um, being content and not switch up with what was happening in the
Stay in your.
industry. You know,
It's
so
almost
stay
like
in your lane.
it's almost like whatever route you're taking, whatever
Yeah,
business,
yeah,
whatever thing, your thing that you're into, you have to stay in your lane
yeah,
regardless of the
definitely.
noise.
And
If you have a unique way of doing it or you want to do it differently, stick to it until the end. Just know that um, there will be ups and downs, but stick
yeah,
to it till the end, man. It's a marathon.
you know what comes to mind?
Yeah.
I would say is that do an old thing in a new way.
100%,
Do
man.
you know what I'm saying? So
100%.
like,
It's
I feel like
understanding that nothing great happens overnight. You feel me? It's a marathon, like Nipsey Hussle always puts it. And it's understanding that sometimes you will get opportunities that look like they're great, but if
for
it
sure.
doesn't fit with your vision, you have to reject it and discard it.
Because
Period.
I
Like
think
nerve.
ultimately, sorry to cut you off
Yeah,
there.
man.
Ultimately, your vision becomes a filter.
100.
So you
Oh, yeah,
filter
yeah.
everything
It's
through
a
your
pity we don't
vision.
have horns yet or anything like
Yeah,
sound
you know what
effects,
I'm saying?
man.
Poo, poo,
That
poo,
deserves,
poo.
yeah, no, that deserves a flag.
Yeah,
Let's
but
say it again, man. Like I think
you
maybe
know,
people need to hear it again.
if
Like
you
your
have
vision
the
filters.
yeah, and the importance of a vision in the first place.
Ah,
You
100%, man.
understand? Because if you don't have a vision, you don't know
Which
what's
direction to take and
or is
what
this aligning with where I'm trying to go? Because you
correct.
don't even know where you're trying to go.
Ah,
So I think the
100%.
first place we start
I
is
don't
to
even think
have a vision.
a Uber driver will take you anywhere if you don't
You
have a
can't. You know,
destination.
we
Feel me?
really have to
Yeah.
like define or determine the vision, and then use the same vision as a filter. You know, just a disclaimer, bro. Keeps on looking at the phone. It's not like
Nah,
it's just
I got
notes.
notes. Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
prepared for the show because we
100%,
really
man.
wanted to articulate it in a good way and also precise without really beating around the bush. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But anyway, going back to having a vision, and I feel like a vision will help you filter a lot of things, you know, and
Oh,
you
definitely,
understand
man.
certain opportunity. Not all opportunities are yours. You know, certain things you turn it down, bro. Turn it down.
So,
You know,
say
because
that
it's
again.
turn certain opportunities down because what it does, it 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 I don't know which word to
It,
use. You know,
it almost
it
like
messes up with your whole vision. Now you switch up
yeah,
so that you can align with the opportunity, but
correct.
that's not initially
If
what
you
you
don't
wanted
stand
to
for
do.
something, man, just discard it. You feel me? Like, and also, if we talk about a brand, like for instance, Nipsey Hussle worked in. Okay, we're gonna. Long story short, he then he did eventually sign to a major record label, which is Epic, and then eventually, but when we got there, his situation wasn't as they had promised him, and he
I
fought
think,
his way out of that
yeah, I
situation
think, Yeah.
the contract that he had signed with them, because if they did not, I think mainly they wanted him to do commercial music, and he's more on rap and conscious rap. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to speak about his truth and where he comes from, and obviously, and then he eventually gets out of the Epic contract, and then he decides, you know what, from day one I actually wanted to stay indie, and then he pushed the thing and opened up All Money In
Yeah,
Records. Yeah.
yeah, and I think when we now we're talking about Nipsey the artist, right? So we're looking at it, you know. I think one key thing also to highlight is he be a student of your craft, bro.
Oh, be
You
a
know,
student of your
be a
craft.
student of your craft,
Mm.
because one thing that I heard Nip talk about a lot in interviews is
Mm.
how he taught himself to engineer. You
Yeah.
know, he taught
Yeah.
himself not only to engineer, he taught himself
And how
how
to
to
use
read.
Pro Tools on,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, but going beyond just the booth and the studio, he taught himself how to read a contract. He taught
Mm.
himself the business language. There's a song
Which
where he
is
say,
it's lacking in the industry
yeah,
these days.
there's a song when they talk about how this business moguls will be having coded language, and
Mm.
that's coded language could simply mean they speak in a way that an artist will never understand. So, but Nipsey
100%, man.
wasn't at the point where he taught himself all of these things, so that when he steps up to the table, he's well equipped to understand what they're talking about. So he always talked about. He makes it very clear that when he sits on the table, they're not talking to Nipsey Hussle, the artist.
But the
So he's
businessman, yeah.
representing. He's the manager.
He's the
He's
exec.
representing
He's the
Nipsey Hussle,
executive,
and I
yeah.
think it's something. Feel like a whole lot of artists, and it's not even on music only. You know, I feel like if you become a student of your craft, you are well equipped to
Mm-hmm.
make better decision and quality decisions
Mm-hmm.
on your moves within your your
Your
craft.
craft,
You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like the only thing that we lack is not ability as most people, as information. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because our decisions are always gonna be determined by what you know.
Yeah.
You know,
100%.
but I'm going back
Yeah.
to Nub, man. Going back to Nub, I think for me, you know, I would say creating a brand, and from there, be a student of your craft.
And yeah,
You know.
just adding on that, it speaks to just being like Nipsey Hussle, man, and always know that with that, apply the concept of the marathon. You know what I'm saying? If you apply a concept of marathon, it's long term, and then you understand that there's no plan B on this thing. We're grinding it out, and you make sure, like he always said, that you need to remove doubt. Right? If you
Yeah.
have
Can't
doubt,
achieve
it
anything.
will not happen. So
Yeah,
you
for
need to
sure, for
remove
sure.
doubt, and apply the concept of the it's a marathon,
For sure, for
because
sure.
nothing worthwhile happens overnight. So if you approach it that way, you know, okay, bam bam, and then you have a step-by-step plan. What I mean by that, it's not a goal that you need to achieve. And what I mean about a step-by-step plan is that, okay, I need to read books more, I need to attend this and this, speak to this and this person, and then once you do that, you apply that into your journey, and you can see a bit of progress, and
Yeah.
then you pick it up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think most importantly, when we're speaking about brand, is that carve your own way. Stick to your uniqueness, your
Yeah.
authenticity,
That
your
wins.
authentic self.
That
So
wins. That
it
wins.
speaks to being self-aware of who you is
Yeah.
and what you stand for. Period. You want to move on to the next thing, man?
Yeah. Look, we if we're talking about, I think everything ties to also coming up with a strategy. You know.
Yeah, have a strategy of how your life.
I would always draw from Nup, where there was a point where he sold 1,000 units of
Copies.
his mixtape
Mixtape,
called
yeah.
Crenshaw.
Yeah, yeah,
He
I remember that
sold
one.
he sold 1,000 for $100, and he sold everything in one day that profited him $100,000
Yeah.
in one day. You
Mm.
know, and Jay-Z also bought 100 copies of
Shout out to
out
Hove.
of the thousand.
Shout out to
You
Hove.
know, so that's a strategy that Nerp used from a book called
Contagious.
Contagious
Yeah,
that was
yeah, yeah.
referred by a mentor. You understand? So the willingness and the teachable spirit that Nerp had, he didn't have to listen to nobody.
Yeah, yeah, of
He was
course.
already successful in his own right, but he was always trying to cover up new strategic ways to get his music out there,
Yeah, yeah,
as
yeah,
an
yeah.
independent
Artists,
artist,
yeah.
So don't just sit around and wait for that big move. Reading books, observing from other people, if you have a mentor, if you can attend a seminar or whatever, those things help, and it actually opens up your mind to what's possible. And then you can, bro, people always want to talk about, like, there's nothing wrong in copying and pasting certain strategies, bro.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
you gotta
The
learn from other
success
people, bro.
leaves clues, bro. We just
Right.
need to pay attention, bro.
So like, don't
So,
feel bad of copying a certain
100%,
strategy
man. Like,
and work it, but make it unique yours. Don't
correct.
copy it
Put in your
step by
flavor. Put
step
in your flavor. You
and
feel
it
me?
looks like the next
It,
person,
you can take a recipe and cook a meal, but add up your
Yeah,
spices
you
and your
like
juices.
you
You know what I'm
like
saying?
this spice, somebody else like this.
Correct.
So all we're
Correct.
saying is that always observe what other people who are successful and doing the same thing.
Yeah, another thing.
Observe what they're doing.
Another
and
key thing
copy
by
that.
doing that actually ties into my next point, which is trial and error, guys. Like, for instance, even with Nub, man, like trial and error,
Yeah, he failed in a lot of stuff, and a whole let me say more setbacks. There was a whole lot of setbacks
yeah.
along the journey.
Yeah, man, and I think as people we don't want trial and error, and
For sure, for
sometimes
sure, for
the
sure.
universe, God, whoever you believe in, is testing you. How bad do you want whatever you say you want? You feel me? So
Yeah.
trial and error is important for your journey and your process. You know what I'm saying?
Like,
And I think for me, what stands out with Nup is that um, he he believed in doing things himself. Like,
yeah.
he could engineer, produce, and do everything. But most importantly, also it's being being willing, or just having that spirit of saying that I'm gonna learn, and doesn't matter how long it takes. I'm gonna
Yeah.
see this out until
Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
It's that deep work.
Yeah, and
It's that deep work on your craft and loving what you do,
for
being
sure,
passionate.
for sure.
And I think nothing can stop you, or nobody can stop you, regardless of how long it takes. And that's exactly, it took him about 10 years
Yeah, for sure.
to come up with a masterpiece of an album, which is Victory Lab. And man, and then he blew up nationally and internationally.
Yeah, yeah. So I think, like, with that being said, the truth is we always gotta apply patience, but have aggressive action.
Yeah.
Have a long-term vision, but that long-term vision does not mean now you're not doing anything because you're trying to achieve your goal in 10 years or 5 years.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah,
So
100%, man.
continue, remove the results out of the equation and continue working, have action, continue working, put in the work.
Don't work for the results of for the person you're
Because
becoming.
yeah, if the results come sooner, fine. But even if it doesn't, what you know is that I have a 5 year, 10 year plan. The thing is that without trial and error, we can never know what works and what doesn't.
Come on now.
You gotta put your ideas against reality to find out what actually works.
100%.
You understand? So until
100%.
you actually practically do the ideas that are on that piece of paper on your phone and notes app, until you really apply certain principles or strategies, then you can find out what works and what doesn't, and that feedback helps you strategize better next time and move in a different way. So trial and error has worked for so many people, and with a great legend like Nipsey Hussle that we're talking about today, we've seen that. And it's encouraging because we see the end goal, and it was sweet.
Yeah,
Nipsey,
he owned 100% of his music and his
yeah.
businesses, and
Yeah.
just moving along, I like the mere fact that not only did he own his music, he took some of the businesses in his hood. Like he owned
Yeah.
a salon, a clothing label,
A
and
restaurant.
a restaurant, and a few others, and was building a multi-purpose center for
Yeah.
artists and business
It was
entrepreneurs,
called
Vector 90.
Vector 90. Yeah.
So, so with that being said, he still he was in Hollywood, as maybe if we can put it that way. He still remembered the people where he comes from.
Yeah, and I think also one big thing to highlight is also the marathon store that
Mm.
you know, it's a the
Smart
marathon.
store.
Yeah, the marathon store is a smart store. It's a tech, you know, integrated into the clothing or the merch, you know, and such a store normally it's naturally to want to put it up in your fancy upmarket
Yeah,
places,
Beverly
but
Hills, man.
you know, but Nipsey Hussle took that back to the hood. You know,
Mm.
he opened the first smart store back in the hood. You know, and with that being said, like it goes back to that point, that trial and error. You know, it
Mm.
wasn't that they knew that the smart store would work, but he tried something new in the market. You know, and the idea behind the marathon smart store was that you know, normally when an artist is about to drop music, maybe in 10 days, they'll drop it in the all the major streaming platforms, right? But with the smart store, how it was or how
Structured.
structured is that whenever maybe Nipsey Hussle is dropping a dope song with Rick Ross, right? So the song will be integrated in a
On your
certain
clothing.
products within the store. So what you do, you buy the product, you buy the merch,
Mm.
you know, you buy a T-shirt or your hoodie, and you download the Marathon Clothing app. You stream the music of your barcode of the clothing.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah, yeah.
understand? So
That's
you
that's
get a
sick.
preview or you get to stream the music of your product way before it goes to all the major streaming platforms.
Mm.
And with that, what Nipsey were trying to, it's all ownership. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mm.
all ownership and creating platforms where Nipsey or your own products could just integrate and work together, so it becomes so the clothing and the music in one place. But overall, a this is a first. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? I don't know. When I heard about it the first time, I was like, yo, how's that
Yeah.
even possible? Because
Yeah.
like
As soon
it
as
doesn't register mentally
correct.
that you could stream music of your phone
Yeah.
your clothing, you know.
Soon as he did it, the NBA jumped on the
Yeah, I
same
saw
trend,
that. I
right?
saw that. I saw that.
The NBA jumped on the same trend, but in essence, this video is just to highlight Nipsey Hussle, the great, meaning the principles that he lived by. And one that I think we haven't really spoken about a lot is his passion to reading books. You know what I'm saying? And I think he always spoke about books that he read and also keeping your energy pure. And I think that's so powerful because when you keep your energy pure, what you do is that it comes back ninefold in what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? So if you keep on being negative, and it's not about being positive. We can't be positive all the time, man. Like that's not even we humans. And sometimes you wake up, you in a down, you feeling down, but keeping your energy pure is that whatever your intentions is towards a person or anything that you do, it's not about exploitation or taking advantage of the next person or trying to cheat, rob, and finesse your way into something. You know what I'm saying? So keeping your energy pure is important as well. And reading books can only advance you and put you in a better position
For
of
sure, for
winning
sure, for sure.
because of you then know what your competitors know and more.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
feel
yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah.
So it sets you apart, period.
Yeah. And I
And
think,
that's what
bro,
it is.
bro, we go back to this. We're living in a time of information. Ignorance is a choice.
Ignorance is a
You know what
choice.
I'm saying? Like, so,
Man,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
But like for real, like we live in a time of information. This
Ignorance
isn't,
is a choice.
bruh, this isn't time where if
There's
you say
no
you don't know, if
excuse.
you say you didn't know, you don't
There's no
know,
excuse.
like we don't believe you because that means you're lazy to research and
And
check out.
sometimes, yeah, and sometimes there are other reasons why maybe you can't reach the information. It's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
But what we're getting at
If
the
you have
message,
the resources
correct.
to
If
find
what
out,
we're
you
getting
know,
at, if you have time to be on social media, man, you can do
yeah,
your research.
yeah.
You can find out things. You know what I'm
And
saying?
reading
So
books, you
yeah,
know,
reading books, and I think maybe one of the top things is brand, right? Nipsey Hussle built it a brand, and it with brand guys, best believe. Let me tell you this: it takes time. It takes years sometimes, but once you've successfully done that, you get paid. You then, like you said the other day, man, it becomes not about people employing you, but
yeah, it's
it becomes
partnership.
partnership and
Yeah,
collaboration.
for sure.
And now brands wants to be associated with you because of what you stand for.
Yeah,
And that's what it is. You need to build a brand around whatever you do. I don't care if you kokasi and then or keramiri, you know what I'm saying, you just have your own salon. I don't care, build a brand around that. And whatever you do, you selling stuff, build a brand around that. It takes time, but at one point you're gonna run your own empire and your own race, and
yeah,
nobody gonna be like near where you at your level, you know what I'm saying. And the second thing, we spoke about it, and that's about having the spirit of learning, and also doing things trial and error.
for sure, for
You know
sure,
what I'm
for
saying,
sure, for
trial
sure,
and error,
for sure.
right? And which is so important. And before we close this video, man, what would you say is the major thing that helped you, that you have taken from Nips and helped you on your life on a personal level and also just the grind?
There's so many,
Let's
bro.
start on the
You know,
personal level as a man.
yeah. I think one thing, bro, like one thing that I live by is, and I learned that I always had it, but again, seeing, like I also learned it and observed it from Nipsey Hussle,
Mm,
and that's respect.
respect.
Respect, bro. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? Like, it doesn't matter if it's who you are, but like relate to people with respect. You know, and I know there's so many principles and all that, but like personally, my personal life, bro, like respect. You know what I'm saying? Because
So just speaking to that, it ties into looking at the human, re- regardless of where you at in life,
yeah, and
right? And so if even if you see a person might be less fortunate than you, starts with respect,
yeah,
and the person that has more with you
yeah,
starts with respect. That's
yeah.
what you, okay, that's
Yeah,
what you're getting
and
at.
I think once again with that I would tie it in with being self-assured, you know,
Yeah,
because if ever I see somebody less fortunate or somebody who's in a lesser position that I am at that point in life, and I feel good about myself, there's a problem.
bro.
You know what I'm saying? And if I see somebody who's maybe ahead of me in life and I feel inferior to them, you know, I gotta be neutral and content with myself. I gotta be inspired by the next person, but I could also uh, give like be a helping hand to somebody who
Yeah,
is
yeah,
less
yeah.
fortunate, you know.
100%.
So there's this balance that
That you need to have in
you
life.
need to have in life, you know what I'm saying? But be self-assured in yourself, you know, move with confidence and not doubt your vision, you know. And but overall, like the major one would be to have a long-term vision and never ever
Switch
switch
up.
up, never
Never
switch
switch
up.
up.
Stay true to who you is, stay true
Never
to,
let a hard time humble you and
yeah,
make you switch up.
yeah,
Never do
nah,
that.
no,
It's a trap. And many people fall into that because they're in that comparison cycle
yeah,
or
bro, like
loop in their minds
how
because
many,
of social media. Best believe that one best advice I can give, if you feel like that, you feel down and you feel like you have less than, I bet you go a week without social media.
Yeah, you feel better, bro. Like,
You
and
feel better about yourself, and you realize that actually there is things that you can be grateful for, and you can literally plan out your life and the steps that you need to
yeah.
take. You feel me?
How many times did people come? Double impact, do this, where people are trying to rush the process, because of this short-term
Mindset, man.
mindset that people have these days, and it's created by so many things, but social media is one of the biggest, and social media will make you not enjoy your blessings.
Ooh.
You feel?
Mm.
So you enjoyed your blessings all this time until you jump onto IG, or,
Mm.
or any other social media platform. Now it is shift your energy. People don't understand that we humans, and our energies are always affected by what we see, what we hear,
Yeah.
and who we surround ourselves
That's
with.
why you need to
You
be
know.
careful who's in your ear, man.
So the one thing that I know is that it's important to protect your energy,
Yeah, keep
because
it pure.
once people drain that energy or
You're
whatever,
depleted.
you can't even be productive
On
towards what you're trying to do.
Can you tell the people what the podcast is about a little bit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we believe that if we ever to find solutions to problems,
Fact.
we first gotta identify the problem.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah.
sometimes means, or it takes you stepping out of your comfort zone, stepping away from say, conventional narratives or anything that does not serve you well. But with that being said, we're not
Sometimes
saying
it's
that we're gonna bring you all the answers, but we'll definitely bring you content that will point you
will
in the
definitely
right
help.
direction.
Yeah,
You know
will
what I'm saying?
help
We'll bring
get you
content
to the answers.
that will point you to the right direction, and so that you can find out the truth for yourself.
100%.
Because you have to go and walk the path for you to find out the truth, and that's what the podcast is all about. Yeah.